Hello students, welcome to class 10th. Today we are going to start with the first chapter of biology, that is cell cycle and cell division. Firstly, we'll talk about what is cell. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. But why is it known as the structural and functional unit of life? The reason behind that the group of cells combine to form a tissue, the group of tissues combine to form an organ, and the group of organs combine to form an organ system. And this organ system is responsible for giving structure to the living organism, and the functioning of this organ system, functions performed by this organ system, is responsible for the functioning of living organism. Hence we can say that cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Now let's move on to the types of cells. There are two types of cells. First one is somatic cell and the other one is reproductive cell. Somatic cell is also known as body cell. Why it is known as body cell? Because the term soma means body. So the somatic cell is also known as body cell. So the body cell are responsible for growth and development of living organism. While the other type of cell, that is a reproductive cell, is responsible for determining the reproductive character of living organism. So we have studied two types of cell. First one is somatic cell and the other one is reproductive cell. The somatic cell responsible for growth of the body and the reproductive cell responsible for reproductive character of organism. Now let us move on to the main topic, that is cell division. Cell division, we can say, is a process in which the parent cell divides into two daughter cells. Let us see how. Here we have taken the example of E. coli bacteria, in which the parent cell is undergoing division and is now transformed into two daughter cells. It's splitted apart into two daughter cells at the end. During this formation of daughter cells, it has undergone two further processes. First one is karyokinesis and the other one is cytokinesis. So now let us talk about the subdivisions, karyokinesis and cytokinesis. Karyon means nucleus and karyokinesis means nuclear division. Here, E. coli bacteria contains DNA as a genetic material. This DNA undergoes replication. Replication means it undergoes duplication. So, DNA duplicates and it forms a copy of its own. This copy of DNA formed further splits apart and moves to the opposite poles, as we can see here. Now occurs the another step, that is cytokinesis. In cytokinesis, the cytoplasm is undergoing division. How? By the process of constriction. By constriction. Constriction means by separation. The cytoplasm is separating by a slight constriction that deepens further within the E. coli cell, and it deepens, and at the end we get two daughter cells. So in karyokinesis, the nucleus is getting divided, and in cytokinesis, the cytoplasm is getting divided. Now let us move on to the needs of cell division. What is the need of cell division? Firstly, it is responsible for growth of the organism. How it is responsible for the growth of the organism? Just now we studied that a parent cell was giving rise to two daughter cells, and these daughter cells will further undergo division and will act as a parent cell and will give rise to further daughter cells, and this is responsible for the growth of organism. Cell division is also responsible for 3 R's. What are those 3 R's? First one is replacement, other one is repair, and the third one is reproduction. Let us see what is replacement of dead cells, how it is helping in replacement of dead cells. As you all know that every minute millions of cells are getting destroyed and they are being replaced by the new cells. These new cells formed are due to the cell division, are a result of cell division. Nextly, it is also responsible for the repair of tissues. How it is responsible for repairing of tissues? Suppose if we get an injury, so the epidermal cells gets damaged. If we get a very deep injury, certain tissues are also getting damaged, and that repairing process is being carried out by cell division. Cell division occurs and that area, that region has been recovered by the new cells formed as a result of cell division. Next, we move on to how cell division is responsible for reproduction. Cell division also plays a role in reproduction, as we have seen here in this diagram that an E. coli bacteria is forming two daughter cells. So the E. coli bacteria is simply undergoing binary fission, which is a type of asexual reproduction, and as a result of asexual reproduction, two daughter cells are formed. So this asexual reproduction, that is binary fission, is possible only because of karyokinesis and cytokinesis, which is the subdivision of the cell division. Okay. What are the types of cell division? Firstly, we have mitosis and the other one is meiosis. Mitosis and meiosis are the two types of cell division. The difference between these two types of cell division are that mitosis occurs in somatic cell while meiosis occurs in reproductive cell. Just now we have studied somatic cell are also known as body cells and are responsible for development of the body. So as mitosis is occurring in somatic cells, so mitosis is helping in the growth of the body. While the meiosis is occurring in reproductive cell, so it is responsible for determining the reproductive character of organism. Before moving on to the first type of cell division, that is mitosis, we'll first talk about interphase. Interphase plays a major role in cell division. It is not a cell division, but it still plays a major role in cell division. How? Let us talk about that. Interphase is simply a gap between two cell divisions. It is a gap in between two cell division in which the cell undergoes growth and it recovers itself, it regains that, it boosts up its energy and it undergoes growth. During this growth process, the further phases which are taking place are G1 phase, S phase and G2 phase. So the growth process which is taking place in interphase is further subdivided into G1 phase, S phase and G2 phase. G1 stands for gap 1, S phase stands for synthesis phase and G2 phase stands for gap 2 phase. In G1 phase, RNA and protein are getting synthesized. RNA and protein synthesis takes place and the cytoplasmic content increases and the cell increases in size during G1 phase. Now, since the cell has increased in size, now during the synthesis phase, DNA replication will take place. DNA replication means DNA duplication will take place. Why? What is the need of DNA duplication? So that the chromosomes are also getting duplicated, and DNA material also increase in amount, so that that parent cell which is going to undergo division and is going to form two daughter cell has sufficient material for the division for karyokinesis and cytokinesis. This is the only reason that the DNA undergoes replication. Now, during G2 phase, more of the RNA and protein are getting synthesized. It is very similar to that of G1 phase. In G1 phase, we have observed that RNA and protein was getting synthesized, and in G2 phase as well, more of the RNA and protein is getting synthesized, and the cell is continuing to increase in size and it is growing. This G2 phase will be the last phase of growth of the cell. After this, the cell division will occur. Okay. Now, we have studied about G1 phase, S phase and G2 phase. Now, what is G0 phase? G0 phase is also known as quiescent phase. Not all the cells are undergoing this type of phase, are not entering into this type of phase. There are certain specific cells like nerve cell, like brain cells, which enter into this quiescent stage. Let us talk about what is quiescent stage. Okay, what is happening in quiescent stage is that certain cells, after entering into G1 phase, certain cells, they enter into the G1 phase, undergo certain growth, and then they directly enter into the resting stage, that is the G0 phase or quiescent phase, instead of entering into the S phase. As we have seen here, that after G1 phase comes S phase. So, instead of entering into S phase, the cell is now entering into G0 phase. Only certain specific cells do this. What are those specific cells? Like nerve cells, like brain cell. Why do they do so? They do so because they further do not need any kind of cell division. Nerve cell undergoes cell division during the embryonic stage, and later on it does not require any kind of cell division. So as it does not require any kind of cell division, it does not need any further phases as well. It does not require synthesis phase, neither G2 phase. So, how will we explain quiescent phase? Quiescent phase is a resting phase in which certain cells enter into the resting stage after the G1 phase. Okay. Now we will move on to the main topic, that is cell division, and that is the first type of cell division, mitosis. Okay. We have talked about interphase, in which the cell has prepared itself for cell division. Now the cell is ready for cell division, and the cell division we'll talk about is mitosis. We already studied that the cell division is divided into two parts, that is karyokinesis and cytokinesis. So mitosis is also further divided into karyokinesis and cytokinesis, since it is a kind of cell division. In karyokinesis, the nuclear division will occur. In cytokinesis, the cytoplasmic division occurs. The nuclear division involves prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. We can learn it as PMAT. PMAT. P stands for prophase, M for metaphase, A for anaphase, and T for telophase. So, karyokinesis during the process of mitosis is divided into 4 phases, that is PMAT, and the cytokinesis involves cytoplasmic division.